Welcome back to the Banner Saga, where we are on our long road to Sigurd something over Hawks something. I don't remember the names. It doesn't really matter. We're taking a quick breather. We're gonna see what Nid has to say now that she's a character. I don't know that if we've ever spoken. I'm Nid, you're Rook, I know. We've actually been traveling together for a long time. Isn't it strange how you can be so close to people and not know them? Every day I pass people I swear I've never seen before. I wanted to thank you for letting me join you. Where are you from? I don't think you're from Skogar. I know most of the people there. No, I had a house in Frostvillar, but we were driven out when the dredge started to show up. My husband died trying to protect our home. My sons and I were thrown out into the fields. I'm sorry. Ekil's men killed my husband. Now Ekil is traveling with us. For a long time I was angry. Why did he get to live? Why did you decide for the rest of us? This is weird. You look away momentarily, not sure what to say. But I've let it go. I have 3 sons, and I don't want them to grow up with hatred in their hearts. That's why I wanted to thank you. She said Ekil's men, not Ekil. So I don't know what to believe. Have you always been such a good shot? Honestly, I've never even tried before Oddleaf made me. I spent my whole life making clothes, cleaning. Oddleaf's good, but I don't think it was all her doing. It feels right. I just look where I want it to go. Anyway, I feel better. The caravan, the people worrying all day and making problems. Sometimes they really stew in their misery. Boy, I feel that. I'm glad I can do something helpful. You're welcome. I should be going. Don't think anything of it. We all have our own problems to deal with. Let me know if you need me to put an arrow in something. She returns to her tent where her boys are waiting for her. I mean, for being refugees, this is a very... that's not something I was really thinking about. For being refugees, this is a very organized camp. I know to some... I'm sure to some extent it's just... they've sacrificed reality and for sake of the aesthetic, you know, because this is very scenic and kind of beautiful, but like this kind of camp is not the kind of thing you carry in a couple of carts. This is a concerted effort. Yeah, I mean, if you're curious about that kind of thing, I highly recommend you read about the quote-unquote Mongol hordes, who were much more sophisticated and had a far-reaching and incredibly impressive logistics system that stretched for thousands and thousands of kilometers, and was just incredible in pretty much every way. The Mongol Empire does not get the credit it deserves. If you would like to read about ancient or, you know, contemporary, like medieval, European medieval contemporary, or I guess it's Dark Ages, really, not really medieval. The logistic systems that they set up and all of the organization that went into transporting and supplying, you know, thousands of people traveling over thousands of kilometers. It's really interesting if you're into that kind of thing. I highly recommend it. Let's see. How many days do we have? Krumer is injured for 3 days. I don't think that's urgent to fix. Let's promote Gunnulf. Let's give you the ability to use that. And 7 armor is really low. is dangerously low for somebody wading into battle like that. And then actually, I still don't know if that works on his abilities, but let's see. Well, we can at least get the upgraded version of it. Come on, interface. 1 armor a turn could be helpful, but again, I don't think I want to be wading into places where he's getting hit that much in the first place. Will per kill could be helpful. Will per turn. Well, yeah. I think that's good for right now. Yeah, I don't feel the urge to rest just yet, if only because other people are going to get injured. I've got quite a few people in my party at this point. I'd rather wait until a couple of people are injured and then rest them all up at once. I've seen some people say that the training tent and the training system is very robust and highly recommended that you play with it, but I don't believe there are any actual rewards for it, so I'm just not going to do that. I'm going to hope that our morale holds out as well for a little bit. I think we're about to hit the Godstone anyway, so. Unless we just skip it. Nope. There it is. Oh, that's interesting. It's like split right in two. Walk through it. It's an interesting use of the parallax effect. The Godstone of Dunder passes around you. In the frozen climates here, it looks like the rock is split and is falling apart, held together only by the deep snow. Curiously, when standing between the stones, the wind drops off completely, picking up again once you've passed through. I almost wonder if we should rest here for the night, says Ivor, who seems to have noticed the same thing. With all the snow around it, Dredge might not even be able to find us. We might get in a fight for doing this, but well, I don't know. Hopefully it'll help morale anyway. You walk around camp before settling in. Along each strand of Dunder's massive beard is carved a different part of his story, and you turn your head to and fro to read it. While the Loom Mother was the first to create, she soon found a counterpart in Dunder, who embodied her ideals in a masculine form. Dunder took some of her creations, gave them beards, and showed them the secrets of smithing, though many remember him just as fondly for teaching them games and songs of mirth. Yeah. Wait, why did morale decline? It went up and then went down? Fuck you. As the camp settles in, you notice a group of boys huddled around something. They show you an offering box carved into the Godstone itself. The box is an elaborate construction of interlocking pieces which slide around when touched. We can't get it open, they tell you. It's like a puzzle. I'm a little nervous about messing with tithes to gods that have previously messed with us in return. But it's also a puzzle, right? The boys take turns working out the puzzle and give you tips when it's your turn, though you don't seem to make much progress. Eventually, they leave to sleep until it's just you and a couple of other determined youngsters. Keep working on the puzzle box. It's hard to know how long you spend sliding around the smooth puzzle pieces, but when people begin emerging from their tents, you know you're in trouble, exhausted from a long, sleepless night. Worse still, the box remains closed as you shuffle wearily along with the leaving cavern. Well, what's the side effect? What's the game side effect to me for nothing? Or I don't I don't know. Well, anyway. Boy, that's the first unsnowy area we've seen in a while. Okay, I feel like we should... Well... Harsh words from one mother to another draws the attention of the entire caravan. My daughter marries Ragni, or no one. That reed-thin tramp you call a daughter won't provide sons. The insulted mother bares her teeth, ready to attack. Explain yourselves. Ragni chooses my daughter on his own, the insulted mother says, but this one thinks I have something to do with it. Launching forward, the first woman flails wildly, shouting, "Liar!" The women are separated and eventually calm down, but you worry that this is far from over. Some people, some parents, I tell you. Alright, hold on. I want to camp before we get in there, because I'm worried that this place is going to be fucked up. Like, it just makes me nervous. I don't trust this game anymore. Okay. Back to decent morale. Didn't even move. In the distance, Hawkstaff smolders like an old campfire. Perfect. Yeah, good. Even from here, you can see black figures shambling through it. That looks like a dead town, remarks Ivor, confirming your impressions. There's usually survivors, Oddleaf reminds you. Yeah, if they're still hanging out, I don't think there's any survivors. It's burnt and there's dredge. We should keep going. We've had enough problems for one lifetime, you say. We don't need to go looking for them. Probably the better decision, replies Ivor. That was shockingly uneventful, he says right before they're ambushed. A woman's stifled screams failed to overly concern anyone. It was only a matter of time before the expectant mother gave birth. The caravan is simply excited by this first sign of new life since the trip began. Yeah, do nothing special, allowing the mother and child some peace. With all the congratulations and cheers passing around, you decide to maintain a normal schedule, letting the family adjust to the new hardships of traveling with an infant as quickly and peacefully as possible. I got renown for that? I'm totally unclear. The whole renown system's fucked up. It doesn't make any sense. It's unnecessarily complicated. And just adds confusion to the... it adds an unnecessary system to the whole game. Honestly. It's two Godstones in short succession. Kind of a surprise. Godstone for Ingrid, goddess of knowledge, looks on as the caravan takes a much-needed rest. Ivor shoos some children away from a solitary dredge slinger laying dead beneath the stone. Should we be worried about that, you ask Ivor, pointing to the dredge body. I don't think so, he replies. Still, couldn't hurt to have a few guards look around. Hours pass without warning. Inspect the Godstone. Ingrid's Godstone is carved with ancient runes, which don't make much sense to you, though Ivan tells you some of the menders have deciphered them. It's how the menders learned the language of the gods. Past the largest stone, a long series of slabs contain more writing all the way down the hill. The odd thing, he tells you, is that the writing occasionally changes, depending on who is reading it. Usually it describes the history of the gods, but it can be about nearly any topic. Sadly, Ivan doesn't know how to read it. Doesn't know how to read it himself. Juno could, he says. As you're readying to depart, you hear screams from near the main Godstone. The same boys so curious about the dead dredge before are shrieking and pointing. For a moment you think it must not have been dead. But then you see that they have opened a wrapping that was in the dredge's hands. Wait, says Ivor, his arm across your chest. This shouldn't be seen. Get everyone away. A chill sweeps over you. Alette pushes past and gasps. Stop, shouts Ivor, but the curious onlookers have already seen it. Leave it. On the ground before the dead slinger is a small, stony figure, its hand searching for something it can't find. That's a baby. That dredge is a woman? We've been killing women. We've been slaughtering women and children this whole time. Yeah, and they've been slaughtering our women and children. I don't know, man. Not that big a deal to me. Leaving them to die? In a war, it's only the males who fight. Well, that's objectively not true. There are 3 women in the party. We've been fighting these dredge the whole way. Why are women with children on their backs attacking us? They're not invading. They're running. Everyone stops dead in their tracks. The entire caravan is gathered around, aghast. When I spoke to Juno, she told me something was coming. She didn't know what. A darkness. Something black is covering the world, and the dredge are running from it just as we're running from them. The serpent, the quake... Oops. Fuck. I missed what that said. Ivor, you knew. Why? Why didn't you say something? Being accusatory isn't helping anything. When I was young, I killed one of the Sunder during the Great War, the Second Great War. We called it Raise. Every time we would build our defenses, it would flatten them and push us back again. I became separated from the rest of the Varl and stumbled upon Raise deep in a snowstorm, alone. She was nursing. I threw my axe. It twisted in the wind. Her son died in her arms. She was so pathetic, kneeling in the stow. She didn't even try to stop me when I took her head. That's how I killed a Sunder. When I found my way to Grofheim, the Varl wanted to make me Kender, next to be king. I left. Walked until I ended up in Skoger, where no one knew what I had done. The only sound is the wind blowing through the trees. For a long time, no one says a thing, until a child breaks the silence. What do we do with the baby? She asks. A lump forms in your throat, looking at the small obsidian creature squirming before you. Fuck, man, I don't know. Like... That's actually a difficult question, because on the one hand, like, the whole, hey, we're killing women and children thing is not a big deal to me, because they're doing the same to us. But executing a child seems a little bit fucked up. On the other hand, if you don't think of them as sentient and sapient, and the question, there's still a question there as to what their level of comprehension is, then if you treat it like, you know, a baby animal or something, you don't really want to kill it, but if you can't, you know, if you can't care, if you don't have the means to care for it or to return it to a condition of nature where it can continue, I don't know, like, are you at fault to just leave it where it is and, you know, in the knowledge that it will probably die? My gut says don't allow us to take it with us. But man, I don't know. On the other hand, it could be the kind of thing where if we take it with us, it will favor us later and help us avoid like a big fight or something. Like, it's such a, again, once again, it's like I don't know what the repercussions are. So and the game isn't even discussing it as though there are repercussions. It, like, I'm not asking the game to tell me what's going to happen if I do or don't take it. But for it not even to, you can write things such that it will like give some sort of foreshadowing, um not even in an overt way, that would give me some kind of information as to what's going to happen. Oh man, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't make the decision. I think if I put it to a vote, they're going to vote to take it with us. Let me just stay out of it. After much passionate debate, some women in the convoy offer to take care of the infant and are shunned by others in the group. You leave the Godstone of Ingrid with a caravan divided. Phew. I'm not sure that was a good idea. Not sure I can do anything about it. I think we should camp. Our morale is low. That's a little better. Wow, we're down to 15 already. Huh, maybe I should have bought more supplies. You know, that was a lot to digest. I'm gonna call the episode here, and next time we'll see where we go. Yikes.